How often do we mistake our limited understanding for the whole truth? We build our worldviews based on personal experiences, shaping our beliefs about life, the universe, and even God. But what if our perception, the lens through which we view everything, is flawed? What if the reality we perceive is just a fragment of a much grander design, one that surpasses our finite human understanding? Our senses, while essential for navigating the physical world, can be deceptive. Optical illusions remind us that what we see is not always what is. Similarly, our life experiences, shaped by culture, upbringing, and personal encounters, color our understanding of the divine. We may misinterpret God's actions, questioning His goodness in the face of suffering or His justice when faced with unanswered prayers. This limited perspective can lead us to impose human limitations on an infinite God. We may struggle to reconcile the concept of God's omnipotence with the existence of evil, or question His omniscience when our plans go awry. Yet, just as a child's understanding of the world differs vastly from an adult's, our human perception pales in comparison to God's infinite wisdom. Throughout history, religious texts offer countless examples of God's reality defying human expectations. In the Bible, the story of Job depicts a righteous man who loses everything: his family, his wealth, and his health. His friends, bound by their limited understanding of divine justice, attribute his suffering to some hidden sin. Yet God's response to Job's lamentations reveals a perspective far beyond human comprehension. He reminds Job of his absolute sovereignty, of the intricate workings of the universe that extend far beyond human observation. God, in His infinite wisdom, does not always operate within the confines of human logic or our limited sense of fairness. The story of Abraham and Isaac presents another powerful example. God, after promising Abraham countless descendants, asks him to sacrifice his only son. This seemingly cruel request defies human understanding of love and compassion. Yet, Abraham, demonstrating unwavering faith, chooses to trust in God's plan, even when it contradicts his own logic. These stories highlight the limitations of human perception when attempting to grasp the nature and actions of God. We are often quick to judge, to question, and to doubt based on our finite understanding. However, true faith requires us to acknowledge the limitations of our own perspectives and embrace the possibility that God's ways are higher than our own. The danger of relying solely on human perception is that it can lead to a distorted view of God and His intentions. When we encounter situations that challenge our understanding of His goodness, justice, or love, we may be tempted to doubt His character or question His existence altogether. This doubt often stems from our limited capacity to comprehend the bigger picture. We may focus solely on our present circumstances, failing to see the greater narrative that God is weaving through our lives. Like a tapestry viewed from the back, life's challenges may seem chaotic and meaningless up close. However, with distance and perspective, we begin to discern the intricate patterns and the beauty of the grand design. Moreover, our human tendency to equate suffering with punishment can lead us to misunderstand God's purposes. While sin undoubtedly has consequences, suffering can also serve as a catalyst for growth, refinement, and a deeper understanding of God's grace. Just as a sculptor chisels away at a stone to reveal a masterpiece, God uses trials and tribulations to mold us into the image of Christ. Embracing the limitations of our perception does not mean abandoning reason or logic. Instead, it calls for a posture of humility, acknowledging that our finite minds cannot fully grasp the infinite. It requires us to approach our faith with a sense of wonder and a willingness to trust in God's wisdom, even when His ways seem perplexing. This journey of aligning our perception with divine reality is an ongoing process, one that requires constant surrender and a deepening of our relationship with God. Through prayer, meditation on Scripture, and fellowship with other believers, we can begin to see the world through the lens of faith, trusting in God's goodness and sovereignty, even when we don't understand. Ultimately, the pursuit of understanding God's reality is not about arriving at a place of complete knowledge or eliminating all doubt. Rather, it is about cultivating a heart of faith that finds peace and assurance in the midst of life's uncertainties, trusting that the God who sees the beginning from the end is working all things together for our good.